Hello my dear subscribers, and today I'm gonna talk about how do I propagate my seeds. And I use a very easy method, and this method is kind of different from the traditional gardening, like gardening on the backyard or if you have a farm. So this method is different because this method is for balcony gardening, apartment, any kind of like small space where you don't need 20 plants, for example, or 20 plants of one kind, 20 tomatoes. This method is very good because you do not waste seeds. You don't need to thicken your line of vegetables, and also this method is very pleasant for me because I can see the growth, the start of my plant from the beginning. That's very important for me because I just enjoy the whole process from the seeds, from the first sprouts till the fruit I get in the end. I just advise you to try because this method is actually very easy and the result is amazing. I start from the box like this. This is my germination box. And I start from using the cotton pad like that, just from the face. I just take one and I put it right here. This is just a box from cupcakes. You can take any kind of box. Maybe you ate the salad and you have the box left. I don't use any boxes directly for gardening. I don't buy them because why buy more plastic if I can reuse something, right? I think that right now at home you already have something you can use for these purposes. Okay, so this is just a regular box from cupcakes. Any box with the lid will do great. I just put the cotton pad right here and I put my seeds. I have one here with the seeds right now. As you can see, those are leftovers. Those are everything left from all the crops I tried this season. Well, I will try some more when they will grow and produce the fruit, like radishes. Some of the flowers, I will regrow them again. Those are what I have left. I had... Sure, yeah, you can come in. Okay. That's what I have left. I usually have labels on the top of the box, so I understand what do I have in each pad, because some of the seeds, for example, beets, they're very, very unique. I don't know any other plants which looks like that, but for example, sometimes I can mix peppers and eggplants. For me, they look really similar, or some of the radishes, they look like kale. And if I don't want to mix them, if I have different vegetables, I just mark them what they are, and that is very easy because I also always want to know how much I grew from the pack. So it's like, what is the okay. What is the rate of propagation for every kind? I always mark what is the name of the particular brand because I can tell then if the seeds are good or not. Some of the brands, they germinate better than others. You have to try because sometimes year from year they change. Sometimes they germinate not that good. So just try. Maybe you like the pack and you will buy it. So some people buy because they like packs. Some people know the brand. So it's up to you. I have another one right here. I don't have any marks here because this is a flower box, and that was my experiment with Clove. I wanted to know if so if you know Clove, it has antibacterial properties, so I was wondering if it helped me to prevent mold from happening on the seeds. But actually That was the worst idea ever, because all of the seeds in this box, they got mold and they didn't germinate. So I tried 2 boxes with the same plants, and I will show you the video of germinated, same seeds, absolutely same plant. It's a cosmos, marigold, and I have kale and radishes. So as soon as I added clove, they didn't germinate, none of them, like 0%. I truly believe that clove essential oils, they can influence the germination process. That what was my experiment. I wanted to know if some seeds can influence others, so I shouldn't put, you know, some of the seeds in the same box with everybody else. I usually have a separate box for tomatoes, just for tomatoes, because I have a lot of kinds. I have a lot of varieties. Right now I have about 7 or 8 varieties of tomatoes just for apartment. So they all determine in size. So they should grow not more than 40 centimeters. They all cherry tomatoes. They're gonna produce a lot of fruit, as I hope so. But at the same time, I never put anything else in the box with my tomatoes, because as I told you, yes, now it's a proven, you can even see the difference of the color. This is the clove pad. But you know, that's what I do. I test things. I just love to test something. That's the color from the clove, and yeah, it stopped seeds from germinating, and it formed a lot of mold. So I will not do that again. Clove is very different, and some of them as well. So don't mix like I did here, but this is just leftovers to count how what is the percent of germination. That's very important for me, so I know what producer I like more, or maybe, you know, this year the germination is worse because that was my fault, the temperature was not right. But yeah, use the separate pad for every plant, and don't mix if the plant smells really strong, like clove and some others. They just like you can even feel the smell from the seeds itself. So don't mix them. That's my advice. Probably they have some essential oils that stops other plants from germination. After I germinated my plants, as soon as I see the first sprouts, I plant them in the pots. I have my vegetables only in textile containers, except I have my beets and onions for green sprouts. I have them in plastic containers because I keep them on the kitchen counter, so I don't have any holes in my pots. And I have another video about pots. There I explain why I never make holes in my pots. Basically, I try to keep all of my, oh, I just love that feeling. That feels really good. I don't know why, I just love to do that. It just feels really good. First, it's, oh, okay, so, sorry. Watch my other video, otherwise that video is going to be very long. Seeds germination, yay! I will show you some more pictures of what I germinated and how it looked. It's a very interesting process. That's why I'm saying that usually people, they advise, you know, to make holes and put the seeds in the soil and cover it. But for me, it's not that interesting, because when you have a whole big garden, you have so much to do in this garden. You have to clean it before you start putting crops. You have to, you know, organize it, and then you have these plants and these flowers starting, summer flowers. It's like it's very exciting. But when you have a garden on the balcony, you don't have that much space, you don't have that much going on. Well, I mean, I can wash the floor a couple of times, but that's probably it. But I don't have so much fun as the gardeners do. I think that, well, I can I can say that I'm gardener. I don't know why I call these people gardener, and I'm not a gardener. Well, I'm a balcony gardener. I love to watch the seeds growing from the beginning just because it adds this excitement and more fun and more experience to the gardening, to the whole process of gardening. That's why I really advise people to start germination in the box. And the other thing why you can start it in the box, because when you see the seed, some of them do not germinate. For example, I bought the new kind of beads this spring. Yes, it's spring. It's almost spring for us in August. Okay, so I bought, and from 10 bead seeds, I only had 6 from this producer. So it's 60% of germination. And when you put the seed into the soil, usually it takes around, for different plants it's very different, but usually for beets it's around 3 to 4 days, around that. They germinate in around 4 days. They start to get, little sprouts, and then when you put it in the soil, it's another 4 days. So it's usually like a week and a half till I really see the beets growing. I don't want to waste that week and a half for the seeds which didn't wake up. And 60% is kind of nice, because from some plants I got 0. On the same cotton pad I have eggplants, 2 of them. They were in special cover and they didn't wake up. Those are 3 weeks old, and those are 2 because they all planted in the same. The pepper looks really different from everybody else. But yeah, that's what happened. They didn't wake up at all. So let's imagine that you have a balcony garden, and I have a lot of pots. My balcony garden is kind of small, but I have a lot of pots. But let's imagine that you have just, 1 pot, and you decided to grow eggplants this year, and you just do as YouTubers usually advise. You put everything, like you prepare the soil, you make the holes, you put the seeds inside. It's very difficult to keep the moisture, the right proportion of moisture for seeds to germinate at the first place. But the other thing, that they might be all dead and they won't grow. It doesn't matter what you will do. Will you add fertilizer, the temperature? Nothing will work. Those plants, for some reason, those seeds are dead. You've done so much work, and you kept waiting and waiting. And usually what I have noticed for me, when I plant the plants in the soil, so it's like 4 days for them to germinate, and you have to water them very carefully so the topsoil is moist and it's a good condition for them to germinate. And then you wait another 4 days, and then nothing happens, and you wait another week, maybe something went wrong, you moist it more and more and more, and then after 1 month nothing happens. And that's a very big frustration. So I think that's the point when a lot of people they just think that gardening is not for them, and they give up. And that's very sad, very sad, because gardening is for you. It's easy to some point, it's easy, and just use the different from regular gardening methods. I never put any seeds in my soil if I don't see the sprouts going. That's very important. In this case, I don't need to wait and get the frustration, because I know that everything I put in my soil already have a sprout, so the life started, the conditions were right, and I just water them not so frequently as I water this germination box, and I check them 2, sometimes 3 times a day, just because I'm very curious and I can't wait. For me, it's like a Christmas present. And every morning, before I even brush my teeth, I go and check my box, and it's like, yay, I have some germination, yay! For me, it's very pleasant. I just love it so much, and that's a very nice experience. Oh, The sun is almost down and it's a sunset. I hope you can see me, but I will continue. Okay, so after I put the germinated seed, I put it in the soil, I make a hole and I water it, covered with some soil, and then I just wait and give it the best condition possible. So for this, I don't know, hugging pots, textile pots, is a new thing for me. I don't know, think that I'm crazy. It's okay. But it's just, I just love it. Plastic pots, they look okay, but textile pots are just like my babies. I love to rub them. Okay, yes, and after that, I just, you know, look for another miracle to happen. Again, every morning I come to my pots and see if something happened during the night. And today I saw this little guy coming out. So that's a radish, and it's just amazing. I love the feeling. That's why I always start like this, because I can see them, this miracle here. I get this pleasant experience when I see the, you know, something germinated, and then I see it here. And then they start to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Especially cucumbers, they're so big. I mean, they grow really big. It's like 5 millimeters every day. So they start to gain the green mass. I'm really happy about that. This is very easy. The method which are advised on the YouTube for regular gardening, not the balcony, not an apartment, I don't think that they will work when you have just one pot, because it's just, as I said, it's a different experience. It's much more interesting. It's when you expect. And I think that, you know, that feeling of expectation, it's amazing. And you see that something happened. You see that those seeds are growing, the life is awakening, and then they grow here. So for me, this is the best experience. And I wish you to try. It's very, very convenient. Just start from one pot. You can start in plastic pots. That's absolutely okay. You can drill holes or not. It's up to you. Watch my video about the pots, why I never drill holes. But I really advise you to start from textile pot. You can actually make it yourself. Just try it. It's very interesting process. So here I have 3 tomatoes and 1 marigold. I love to combine them because I will have tomatoes and then I have some flowers. So it's still keeping this, you know, like flower garden vibe and my relaxation zone. Yeah, but I always start the same way and I get 100% result. Just 2 very little tips when you start. I think I have it here in my cabbage pot. I don't know if you can see it or not, probably not. When I put my seeds in the pot, I will take this one. Thank you. Okay, so I have 2 great instruments, which I really advise you to get. This is the popsicle stick and toothpick. Great instruments, the best you can get for your balcony garden or gardening in an apartment. Because with the lamp you can garden in an apartment easily. Okay, so I use the stick. It has 2 purposes. First purpose, it helps me to understand if my soil needs some watering, because you can see that the, you know, soil is on the stick, and this is very good soil right now, and the stick is moist, so I do have enough of moisture, not water, not swamp. I have moisture, which is great for my plants right now. And right here I have a mark what kind of plant I have here, because I still conduct some, well, not still, I'm gonna always conduct some experiments. I just love experimenting on my plants. Yeah, so if you like the comparison, you know, if you know what if, so that is always in my mind, like what if I will do this or this. This experiment, I have the same tomatoes, I have another bag right there with the same tomatoes, so I'm gonna treat them very differently. And oh, it's so warm. Oh, it feels so nice. Crazy pot lady. Okay, so I have 3 tomatoes here and the same tomatoes in another pot with 1 marigold. So it's absolutely the same plants, absolutely the same soil, and I'm conducting an experiment with lamps. Can lamps replace the natural sun? It's very interesting for me to understand that, and I also then, after I will finish, because I already see results, and I think I will stop right here and I will explain my experiment in other video. But right now I will next continue with the experiment with fermentation. Can we actually like ferment before, and I'm not talking about bokashi fermentation, because it's obviously great and it's wonderful, but not everybody have an access to bokashi compost. So I'm trying to create a new way for people who don't have bokashi. So anyway, yes, and I put the names of my plants right next to the plant. If I need, I can see if soil needs water, and I also see the name of my plants. And another thing is a toothpick. When I plant something, because I plant seeds with sprouts, but not a green sprout, just a very tiny white sprout, the first one, I think that's an ideal to plant. You don't need to wait longer, because otherwise you can damage some systems, because plants, they need light almost right away. I use toothpicks because I plant a lot of plants in the same pot. I have combinations like plants companions. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 plants here. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, but when I plant something, I usually put the toothpick right next to the place I planted the seed. Then I know where exactly I planted, because I usually mark my cucumbers, tomatoes, like big stuff, I mark it, but radishes, beets, flowers, I never mark them, and sometimes I plant them too close. And that was my biggest mistake ever. So just give them some space, and you plant the seed and you put the toothpick, and then you will understand that how many plants did not grow from the seed. For me right now is just less than 1%. I lost just one. So it was just 1 toothpick, and next to it nothing happened, but I will still wait about 1 week, because it might be the weather conditions, because here in Argentina I'm wearing a jacket and it's kind of cold at night. Right now it's 4, sometimes 2 degrees at night. I just don't want this plant, to lose the chance. So I still keep the toothpick, and if nothing grows in 1 week, I will plant something else. This way I won't lose the space, because in the balcony I want to grow as much as possible, but I don't want to overcrowd it. I don't want to plant plants too close, but at the same time, if I have a tiny bit of space and I know that something can grow there, and maybe it's a little flower with not such a big root system, I will definitely put it there, because I think that when I have a lot of plants in one soil, they all work together and they all create a wonderful condition for each other to grow. I think that's how people should work as well, and we should be together creating wonderful conditions for each other. Okay, so if you will have any questions, let me know, and thank you for watching.